Welcome to DCAT 2024. This is Grant Plater. Can you please introduce yourself for our audience?
I'm Prasad Raje, CEO of LGM Pharma. I have been CEO of LGM Pharma since 2018.
Can you talk a little bit about the key drivers that are playing a role in your recent ATS expansions?
First and foremost, it is coming from customer demand. We introduced our Analytical Testing Service, ATS, to our customers, and the need for the services has continued to outpace our capacity. There is unmet need in the market for a service provider with a robust quality, and we just happen to be in a place where customers were already working with us for other services. We offered them, and now here comes 2024, where we need to expand our facility as well as footprint, as well as footprint, instrumentation, and the headcount.
Can you talk about this unmet need? Like, is there certain areas, say agility, flexibility, what have you, that are in particular demand?
So, historically, for about more than a decade, or even more than that, as the instrumentation for analytical sciences has continued to improve, and the regulatory body has continued to demand more from analytical side for drug development, and hence, as we continue to see that demand coming from regulatory body, the service providers have to adapt to offering those services, and you have to offer that in conjunction with speed, agility, and very important, a robust quality system, and hence that has continued to be an unmet need in the market, which we are responding to.
How have these been incorporated into your Irvine, California facility?
So Irvine facility already was supporting commercial manufacturing. And as part of that, we already have a robust quality system in place. As soon as we offered that to third parties who needed just the analytical services, we were in a very good position to offer these services with a robust quality system, and the instrumentation was that capacity that we had in place. As it outpaced, we have now added more capacity, expanded by 50%, and we are adding new instrumentation, new technologies, as well as adding headcount and new processes.
And just a quick follow-up. So you talked about how you increased capacity by 50%. Is there plans to further increase that and ramp it up? Or do you think this will be sufficient to meet the demand that you're seeing in the market?
Oh, you are asking a very poignant question, because we have already started thinking about enhancing the capacity beyond this, as we are growing not only our analytical testing services, but also our commercial manufacturing. So we will be looking comprehensively. This is just the first step towards our planning for a site master plan for all the sites, especially Irvine and Rosenberg, and we will continue expanding that till we can be best in class in providing these services.
It's good that you mentioned the Rosenberg facility. Can you just talk a little bit about the new suppository manufacturing capabilities and the specific market needs you're trying to address, and even going past that, how you see that impacting patient care?
Sure. The Rosenberg team and the business has experience of offering these services for last 15 plus years. What we are seeing in the market is the feminine healthcare sector of the market has really grown far more rapidly than we anticipated or we expected, along with the rectal route of administration for traditionally oral solid dosage, which are complicated or has some challenges with the stomach or intestinal issues, that those are getting more popular and common. And so now here we are in a scenario where we had a nice, steady, solid suppositories business. The demand again from the customer side has continued to grow. And the customer, we refer to, is eventually seeing a patient who is demanding that, and hence we want to make sure that we can service the customer i.e. at end of the day, a patient.
So we're discussing ATS, we're discussing the suppository manufacturing. How are you looking to differentiate yourself in the market from other CDMOs who are aiming for this?
Certainly. So one thing that we have right from the beginning, we have kept one focus. We don't want to be everything to everybody in the CDMO world. But what we want to do is to be best in class in whichever services we offer. This is just a step towards our customers are seeing the need. We are offering a service with a robust quality system. We are small enough, but to offer to be agile, flexible, to match their development program. Yet we are not so large that the customer gets lost in our multiple sites or where the work is done, who is writing the research projects. So we are really cognizant of that fact and give that personalized experience to a customer.
So you're talking about how you want to be, basically narrow your services so you're best in class in the specific services. Are there certain services that you're fading then that you're not necessarily looking to invest in that other market members may be looking towards, that you think either the demand's not there or it's not expanding at the rate that you would need to justify that sort of increase?
So certainly a good question. And while we don't see anything being fading out as of yet, we are very cautious in adding new services where there are a lot of other CDMOs who might be rushing into it. Because again, keeping our eyes and focus on is to be best in class and not just offer because there is a need today in the market. If we cannot be good at what we do, where customers keep coming to us over and over again, then that's not a service provider that we want to be, because we want the long-lasting partnerships, not just one-off projects.
So is there anything in particular that you're not looking to in that regard?
One area that we have been very cautious about and we are evaluating very carefully is in the fill finish area. While there is need, we realize, but we are cautiously going to go once we have a scale in a book of business and customers, those who are looking for the services are established with us.
And so while we talk about the challenges in adding any services to these expansions, can you just talk about how you overcome those challenges?
Certainly. One of the challenge for us in both the services was how does this fit into our greater expansion or the master site plans for each Irvine and Rosenberg. And while we are excited to share this expansion of capacities and capabilities in suppositories for Rosenberg and analytical testing service for Irvine, we are fitting in very carefully how it goes with other expansions that are forthcoming. So stay tuned in to hear from us. And the second part of it is anytime we are getting new instrumentation or new equipment, these days lead times to get the instrumentation is very important. So we are trying to plan as much ahead of time as possible to meet the customer demand or commit to the customer services and not overcommit and underdeliver, but other way around, which is really the motto.
Looking ahead to the future, can you just talk a little bit about your plans to further innovate and expand your services to meet, whatever evolving needs are happening in the pharmaceutical industry?
Sure. So one area that we invested right away when we did the acquisition of our manufacturing services 3 years back was in research and development. Because most of the projects start early on with formulation development or analytical development, and those services have been invested heavily. Now we are seeing the fruits of projects moving along and into the more clinical trial material or commercial space, and hence these expansions. So now what we expect to do is we are evaluating our entire portfolio of products. We are evaluating all the capabilities and capacities, and we are trying to match with what the customer demand is. and the areas that we believe we want to get into because the customers are coming to us for certain formulation development, and we need to be offering them services along the clinical trial material. And we are very closely looking at some ophthalmic and a smaller volume fill finish, which is really becoming quite a bit of our portfolio of products.
Let's talk big picture in the pharma industry. 10 years from now, what is your bold prediction for where we'll be with pharma? Whether that's a new approach, new technique, new drugs, new anything.
So, look, there is for now a decade or even more than that, biologics are becoming a mainstay of pharmaceutical prescriptions. While they were very unique and game changing, they're continued to be game changing, but no longer unique. They are becoming a routine prescriptions. So we certainly want to. But what we have advantage is on our supply chain side, we end up participating in that, which will continue to be the mainstay of any therapeutic indications. But having said that, at the same time, while many have questioned what will be the future of the traditional oral solid dosage or non-sterile solutions, liquids, creams, none of those have shown from the number of prescriptions point of view any slowdown because they are the cheaper versions of it. So I think more research, more decade, maybe many years will go by till we can go ahead and bring the prices of the biologics down to a point where it will really start competing. Till then, there is longevity for the traditional dosage as well. And so while that will become the market, and we anticipate that to be the market, we want to make sure that we participate in both the sides to make sure that we stay current no matter which way the trends go.
Yeah, and the whole biologics market is just very fascinating because so much of it is these very intense treatments, whether that's like a gene therapy or what have you. So I'd be very curious to see how we bring those costs down, like what sort of methods happen.
Right. It will be a very interesting. Nobody anticipate, at least in my lifetime and many others I've talked to, never anticipated a biologics to be this prevalent, and that has been a surprise, pleasant surprise from the patient perspective. And I believe that will be the trend going forwards to how the prices can come down to a point where they can be at par with the first line of treatment.
Are there any closing thoughts, any messages you want to get out for what LGM is doing at this year's DCAT?
Lots of meeting. We end up going through upwards of 7,500 meetings, and these meetings end up allowing us to be a touch point for all the relationships that we continue developing over entire year or many years. And this gives us a chance to meet manufacturers. At the same time, it gives us a chance to meet our customers. And we take advantage of this to further then take feedback to have the expansions or services expansion or capacity expansion based on these interactions, which are really the key. At the end of the day, it is not what we feel, it is what our customers feel we should be doing and providing better.
Thank you so much for your time, Prasad. It's been lovely talking to you.
It has been my pleasure as well.